Hey guys, okay, so today is going to be an update video and a little bit of a talking video. So, excuse me if I look kind of frazzled. I just woke up. Like, I literally just woke up from doing some dream work, and I had a really intense dream, and maybe when it, makes more sense to me, because I wrote it all down, when it makes more sense to me, I will explain it to you guys in a video and talk about what I saw and what happened. But I just woke up from a nap. It's Saturday. We're in October, which means we're officially in the season of the dead. And I don't know if I've done a video about the season of the dead. It might be the second video I did today. I've been slipping on my videos. I know, I'm sorry guys. What else? Season of the Dead, just woke up from nap, dream work. I finished a chapter. I finished 2 chapters of my book. That's fun. So I have the introduction, or, sort of like this is what the book is about chapter, and then I have my chapter about ancestors, and I haven't really made a lot of posts on the group page lately because I've been really busy with that, but look out for something coming soon on the group page. And if you follow me on Tumblr, I haven't made any posts on that, but I might post my the first chapter of my book up there as a blog. What else? Got my grades up in school. That's important. I've been working a lot more with my charms and talismans, and I've been expanding my spell books and my spells and the diversity of them, and I've noticed that I've started to have a lot of daydreams, and I'm thinking that I should start recording those in my book because my big cousin, she does my readings for me, and she always tells me, dream work, dream work, dream work. And so now I'm starting to think that maybe dream work doesn't just mean while I'm sleeping too, but maybe it means daydreaming. So that's something I've been looking into. Now here comes the talking part of the video. As of recently, I have become more interested in the late great Dr. E's, Dr. E's, also known as Hyperion's Unnamed Path. Now, when I was first introduced to it by my godmom, I was like, oh, the Unnamed Path, it's like a path for gay men who love gay men. That's kind of cool, gay people. I can vibe on that. Yay, we have a community within a community. I was like, cool. And I just brushed it off because I at the time I was completely set in, practicing by myself, practicing without a tradition for a little while. And recently, in the grand scheme of life, I have sort of come back to Dr. E's Hyperion's. I think because that's what everybody who was taught by him. Hyperion's teaching. And what I've come back to is that his teaching. What I've come back to is that there's a little bit of a struggle here. I'm interested in it. I want to study it, but the thing about it is I have sort of a conflict with it in the sense that the way that they do with the things that they do with the goddess. Now, I love the Unnamed Path because it's for gay men. It's for men who love men. That's sort of his. I don't want to say it's his tagline to it, but that's sort of like something you will often hear. Hyperion, if you listen to his podcast, because he has passed away tragically of unexpected heart attack. But if you listen to his podcast, that's something that he would say often. It's for men who love men. And I remember one day I was listening to his podcast on the goddess. And I feel like that's where I have a little bit of a conflict of interest, maybe. Or maybe I have a little bit of a disconnect in their belief system, because Hyperion describes the connection in this specific path, the Unnamed Path, with the goddess as a teacher-student relationship. And he also goes on to say that, like, how he also talks about how, like, some men, some gay men who work with the goddess see the goddess as a mother aspect. Now, for me, being a child of Oshun, you know what that means. You know that, like, when you're a child of Oshun, you're like, she's your protector. And I very much do look at my mother goddesses, or the goddesses I work with, as mother figures or sister spirits, or mother goddesses or sister spirits. And then you might have that one auntie spirit, you know, that really cool auntie that we all have. And, like, she used to be like, do you want to sip of my wine? But no, you know, I look at them as sisters and mothers. And, you know, I vibe with the part where he talks about, like, where we see them as teachers and maybe friends. But, you know, maybe I just have this bit of a conflict. I have this real conflict with the fact that, you know, like, the goddess is an important aspect. She isn't part of the path, but she isn't the mother aspect of the path, you know. He talks about, like, how there's the wheel cycle, and, you know, how she is the mother of the gods, so she is still the mother in a form, but he talks more about, Hyperion talks more about how the god is important in this path because we are gay men who love gay men, and we should give love to the god. Now, here's where that's what I actually like about it too, because I feel like my practice is a little motherly, if that makes sense. It's a little more matruous. It's a little bit, and matruous coming from mater, the Latin word, means that, like, it's a little bit more mother oriented and not really father oriented. Father was just he was there, he helped. But mom was the one who did everything. You know, that's how I sort of see my path. But, like, really, what I want to make it is they're on equal levels. Mother is just as important as father, and father is just as important as mother. And I feel like that's sort of what the Unnamed path is for me, because it's giving me a different light to shine on the male aspect, the male energy of creation. Because I've spent so much time focusing on the female half of creation, maybe it's time to just focus on the male half for a little bit. And then eventually in my own time, I'll be able to bring them together peacefully. And so that's sort of what I've kind of been working on. I've been working on bringing together both the male and the feminine energy together. And one way that I know that I really have not done that at all, I have not had that kind of balance at all, is because my cat, Leo, if you guys have not seen Leo, he's laying right here. Leo, come say hi. Stop being mean. Say hi, Leo. He just woke up. I just woke him up, so he's mad. Leo, I have an offering cup that's blue, and it represents the god. It's for Tehuti or Thoth, and he's the god that I usually use. He's one of the gods that I work with. And my cat is always knocking it over, but he never knocks over the goddess cup. And I, for the longest time, tried to figure out what that meant. I thought he was just being a bad cat. Well, obviously, I'm just not paying attention. What he's trying to say is that I'm not paying enough energy to the male aspect as I am the female aspect, and that is very true. So I've sort of tried to maybe lay off the goddess aspect a little bit, and so focus a little bit more on the masculine aspect, but I think that also involves me looking at my own masculinity. So it's going to be like maybe a really long process. It might even take me the rest of my life. I might not even find a balance until the day I die. I'm on my deathbed, and I'm like, so that's the balance. I'll be like, dying, that's the balance. Okay, well, I guess now I can move on. But, I mean, he also talks about this wholeness in your sexuality. You know, you can do feminine things and you can do masculine things, and understanding those things that are masculine don't make you any more manly, and doing those things that are feminine don't make you any less manly. That's where the two come together. And I see where he means by that, because I like to make clothes, I like to do fashion, I like to cook, I like to clean, I like to, keep a house, clean. I have a cat. Most people don't see having a cat as a very masculine thing. They see it as a feminine thing. But I like to lift weights. I like to work out. I like to, I used to like to play football, but Dad make that, but it got really competitive, and I don't like a competitive sport, which is, I just think is like, but I'm very competitive at the same time. It's a confusing thing. I don't know. I only want to be competitive when I want to be competitive, and I'm extremely strong, and I am a role model and a leader, but I don't really think that's a masculine or a feminine thing. I think that's just a personality thing. But I do masculine things and I do feminine things, and I should be able to, point those things out and be like, these are the things that make me whole in one, and then they make me both half of the God and half of the goddess. And that's what this whole Unnamed Path study is about, really. And I do actually think that would be one of the things that I want to get initiated into. Hyperion, he taught the last class, and I was like, wow, that class is just so lucky, because for the rest of their life, they're going to have the spirit, and Hyperion, they're going to have the spirit of their high priest. And Hyperion, he passed tragically. Like, one day he died. And, to some people out there who know him personally that are watching this, I can't speak on the life he led. I can only speak about the legacy he left. And the legacy he left is the Unnamed Path, and it's going to do so much for people like me, for young men who want to study, young gay men who want to study the path. And so he has done a wonderful thing, and we cannot say thank you to him now. We cannot say thank you enough to him. But now he's an ancestor. He's sitting around that fire pit down there, congregating and advising us and telling us which way to go. And so we just say thank you to him for the work that he's done with his time here, and we're going to say thank you for the work that he's going to continue to do. That is it for this video. I will have another video talking about the season of death, and why I call it the season of death, because yes. And so thank you guys for listening to my rant. Thank you guys for listening to my update, and ashe, ashe, ashe.